Most men, even those who have shared decades of intimacy with a partner, carry a notable gap in understanding what their partner is truly experiencing during their most intimate moments together. This isn't due to a lack of care. On the contrary, most men deeply value their partner's experience. The issue is that few have ever been clearly and clinically guided through what is actually occurring within a woman's body and mind during intimacy, particularly at the point of penetration and in the moments that follow. That gap has consequences. Not usually dramatic ones, but subtle, cumulative effects. Over time, a quiet disconnect forms between what a man believes his partner is feeling and what she is actually experiencing. Small mismatches in timing, attention, and presence gradually diminish the depth of an experience that could otherwise be profoundly fulfilling for both people. Today, we're addressing that gap directly. I'm going to guide you through what is truly happening in your partner's body and mind during intimate connection, the physiological processes, the neurochemical responses, and the emotional dimensions of vulnerability and trust. I'll also explain what this understanding means for how you show up in your relationship. I'm Dr. Julia Rodaz, a men's sex therapist with over a decade of experience helping couples reconnect and supporting men in restoring their sexual health and confidence. Before we begin, make sure you subscribe and enable notifications if you haven't already. Each week, I share clinically grounded, practical insights into men's sexual and relational well-being. And if you know someone who would benefit from this understanding, share this video with them. Now, let's begin. To understand what a woman experiences during penetration, you first need to understand the state her body must reach beforehand. Penetration in a fully aroused body is fundamentally different from penetration in a body that is not yet prepared, and the difference is significant. Female arousal is not instantaneous. It unfolds over time through a specific physiological sequence. Rushing this process has consequences, and understanding it is one of the most important things a man, especially later in life, can learn about his partner's experience. Arousal begins in the brain. It is initiated by the nervous system in response to emotional, psychological, or physical stimulation, or a combination of all three. As arousal builds, the parasympathetic nervous system activates, increasing blood flow to the pelvic region. This shift drives everything that follows. As blood flow increases, the clitoral network, not just the external structure, but its full internal system, becomes engorged. This dramatically heightens sensitivity. Structures surrounding the vaginal entrance also swell, subtly narrowing the opening and intensifying sensation. At the same time, the vaginal walls begin producing natural lubrication through increased blood pressure. This lubrication is both a marker of arousal and essential for comfort and pleasure. Another important change is known as tenting. The upper vaginal canal expands and lengthens while the cervix lifts slightly, creating more internal space. Without this adjustment, deeper penetration can become uncomfortable or even painful. Meanwhile, the pelvic floor muscles gradually relax. In their natural state, these muscles are slightly contracted, but as arousal deepens, they soften and open. This relaxation allows penetration to feel inviting rather than resistant. It's important to understand that this relaxation does not happen automatically. It depends on the right neurological and emotional conditions. If a woman feels rushed or not fully safe, even if she appears willing, her body may not fully open. Emotional safety is not just a relational concept. It is a biological requirement. This entire process takes time. For most women, full arousal can take anywhere from 15 to 45 minutes, and often longer with age. Hormonal changes, especially during and after menopause, can slow this process and may require additional support such as lubrication. When penetration happens before this preparation is complete, The experience changes in every way. Sensitivity is reduced, depth may cause discomfort, the body may resist rather than receive, and the full neurochemical experience of pleasure is not activated. For many men, especially those over 60, this has practical implications. Concerns about maintaining an erection or losing the moment can create pressure to move too quickly. But rushing undermines the very conditions that make the experience enjoyable for her. The takeaway is simple: invest in the time. What is often labeled as foreplay is not a preliminary step. It is an essential part of the experience itself. It determines everything that follows. Now, when penetration occurs in a fully aroused body, the experience becomes far more complex, both physically and psychologically. Physically, the initial moment engages a dense network of nerve endings, while internal structures that have become engorged during arousal amplify sensation from within. This creates a layered experience, combining external and internal stimulation in a way that is far more intense than in an unaroused state. Many women describe the sensation not just as stimulating, but grounding, a deep, full-body experience rather than a localized one. At the same time, there is a neurochemical response. During a safe, desired, and emotionally connected encounter, the body releases oxytocin. This hormone is strongly associated with bonding, trust, and emotional closeness. Its release creates a genuine sense of connection, of being seen, met, and joined with another person. This is why emotional context matters so much. When a woman feels valued, safe, and genuinely desired, the experience becomes richer on a biological level. Your presence directly shapes her physical experience. This brings us to an often overlooked aspect: vulnerability. Penetration requires a level of physical and emotional openness that has no direct male equivalent. It involves allowing another person into one's body, something that requires trust on a deeply instinctive level. The body must shift from a protective state to one of openness. This cannot be forced. It happens only when trust is present. For women later in life, this vulnerability can be even more pronounced. Changes in the body, combined with cultural messaging about aging, can create self-consciousness. How desired she feels, specifically and genuinely, directly affects how safe her body feels to open. When a man expresses real, attentive desire for his partner as she is, the impact is powerful. It signals safety. It allows her body to respond fully. Emotional presence is not optional, it is foundational. So what does she need from you during these moments? First, she needs pace. Initial penetration should be gradual. This allows her body to adjust, deepen relaxation, and expand sensation. Moving too quickly compresses a process that is meant to unfold step by step. Second, she needs your attention. Her breathing, movements, and physical responses provide constant feedback. Deep, steady breathing and active engagement indicate comfort and arousal. Tension or stillness signals the need to slow down or adjust. This requires shifting your focus outward, away from performance and toward her experience. When you are fully attentive, you receive continuous guidance without needing to guess. Third, she needs consistency as arousal builds toward climax. Once her body is responding to a specific rhythm or pattern, maintaining that consistency is crucial. Sudden changes, speed, angle, or pressure can disrupt the buildup. One of the most common mistakes is changing technique at the exact moment stability is needed. Finally, what happens after intimacy matters just as much as what happens during. The emotional and neurochemical state created during intimacy continues afterward. This is often when she feels most open and connected. Your presence during this time reinforces that connection. Remaining close, even for a few quiet moments, communicates safety and care. It tells her that the connection was meaningful, not transactional. Conversely, immediate disengagement can create distance. Over time, this shapes how safe she feels being vulnerable again. At this stage of life, the ability to remain present without urgency is a strength. It reflects emotional maturity and deepens connection in ways that matter most. To bring this all together, your partner's experience of intimacy is layered and complex. Her body requires time and preparation. Her mind responds to safety and connection. Her vulnerability is real, and your presence directly influences what she feels. She needs patience, attentiveness, and consistency. And she needs you to remain present, not just during, but after. A man who understands this is not simply applying techniques. He is engaging fully with another human being in one of the most meaningful, shared experiences possible. He is responding to her reality, not assumptions. This is what true intimacy looks like later in life. Not performance, but understanding, presence, and care. I'm Dr. Julia Rodaz. If this gave you a new perspective or shifted how you think about intimacy, take a moment to like the video. It helps others find this information. Share your thoughts in the comments. I read everyone, and your feedback shapes future content. And don't forget to subscribe with notifications on for more practical, evidence-based insights each week. I'll see you in the next video.